years, and we have added new board members, both Karen Barnett, Taylor Bennett, and Matt Davenport. Matt's not here tonight. Yes. We rewrote and implemented new bylaws. Boy, that was fun. 19 pages. Oh my goodness, that took forever, but it needed to be done to be compliant with Oregon. And we had some things that had changed, so we did that. To give you an idea, the former bylaws they had were actually written 16 years ago. So, needed updated. We sadly said goodbye. We said actually, see you in heaven, to Marion Duckworth, Grace Allen, and Robin Wilkinson, who were members of our organization. We absorbed members and funds from Inspire Christian Writers, had to unfortunately close. We feel very good that they had enough trust in us to recommend us to their members. We're grateful for that. We explored and implemented several methods of new funding. We started our second year of monthly member circle events. Thank you to Jesse in the sound booth. Member circles are gatherings on Zoom. We, for the first time since COVID, had one of our one-day conferences online. That was kind of fun. We could bring people in from more areas, obviously. And when my former day job called me and said, "Can you start a youth recovery group in your town?" And I'm like, "Well, I'll pray about it." I've been leading groups for over 14 years, so I'm like, surely I'm going to probably start another group, and it's not a problem. But when I prayed about it, God said, "No, you need to start a critique group instead." So I'm an overachiever, and I started 4, not 1. Fortunately, I brought on 3 other leaders who have been very helpful. Linda and Jesse and Martha, thank you very much for leading critique groups, because we had an outstanding response. We had over 28 inquiries for people looking for critique in order to work on their writing. So it's been very exciting to see them come along, and a lot of them, you can tell, have worked on their craft for a long time. That's an excellent thing. That's all part of our goal, is that Christian writing that goes out and about and speaks to the world needs to be quality Christian writing, right? Absolutely. All right. I had no idea last summer when I was up here talking to you, hoping to do a conference, that 2 months after conference, I would be standing in the presence of Jesus in heaven. I was straining my neck to see into heaven. I didn't know I'd get that far, but I was. I flatlined from an allergic reaction in the ambulance in the cul-de-sac in front of our house, and I went to heaven. And it was an amazing experience, absolutely life-changing for me, and he sent me back. But he didn't send me back with nothing. He sent me back with the words, "Go, there is still so much to do." And he was sad to see me go, which, makes sense. I'm a mom, and I'm a Nana now, too. Goodness. And the best days of our lives, are they not? Or when we have our children and our families gathered around us. The reason he made us was because he wanted family. That's what I've been told. And someday, that family is going to be all around him and be the joy of his life, be his best day ever. That's how much he loves each one of you individually. I had just actually finished telling the ambulance drivers what I do, because they were trying to keep me awake. Julie, where do you live? Well, who's the president? Finally, it came down to, what do you do? And I said, I oversee, I was trying to talk Cascade Writers, I'm a writer. I was telling about my work in domestic abuse and all of that when I went. And Jesus told me to come back. There's more work to do. And I had really no idea that he values our work here. So I knew it was important, right? We're writing for the kingdom. We get that. We bring people to the kingdom. We bring people in to bring people to the kingdom. That's, part of the mission what I didn't know is that he values us so much and knows what we're doing. And not just that, but our work here on earth is going to extend into heaven and have an impact there in the kingdom as well. But no, he said you had so much work to do. That's not just me. That's all of us. Your work is important too, and I know that because you're still here with me. If he was done with you, you would not be here. Neither would I. So, although life-changing, yes, a book is coming, of course, but that's going to take some time. And this week, I recognized something new. I recognized that my work for CCW is not done either. That there are amazing things ahead for CCW. And might even be that he sent me back for potential. That was a big realization this week. So I am wondering if that is the case, if I'm back for you and you're the reason he sent me back, and if so, I forgive you. I really, really do. I forgive you anyway. I'm glad I'm not one of those people that had a choice. Because some people do go get a choice. He was like, you're not done, see ya. He sent me away, and he didn't even give me a hug. That's what I woke up saying, so. Oh my goodness. Goodness. I cannot tell you everything I'm learning since. I can't tell you everything I'm there. Someday I hope to be able to be given that release to do so, but that's not yet. But I do have a Heaven blog online that I'm researching and have followers there that are really, they're not there for that. They're there to get hope, right? Everybody right now feels the unrest in the world. There's a reason for that, because we are, my friends, in the last season. We are. And they need the hope and they need the healing, and that's why they're there, because that's what they get from the blog. So nobody knows how long the season will be, of course, and it's very biblical that we will not know the exact day and time that he's returning. But I can assure you that from what I've studied, what I've seen, people I've talked to, and many other people also feel that Jesus will probably return during the lifetimes of our children and our grandkids. We are that close. Okay? And I know that's a very bold statement to make. I only say that because I have a point on that. We have reason to believe that. I want to tell you that because it's now more important than ever. If you feel God calling you to write, to publish a certain ministry, to do a certain thing, to serve, whatever he's called you to do, now's the time. Okay? Don't wait until you retire, until you have money in the bank. Don't wait till the kids grow up. Whatever your block has been, go home tonight and pray about that. Pray about that block. Because it needs to happen now. Our world needs it to happen now. Please think about that. All right, please take into account what wise people have told you this weekend, my friends, who many of you I've talked to, and don't wait for all those things to happen before it's the right time to get going. God will bless whatever he's called you to do, and he will give you the ability to do it. All right, I'm scrolling and skipping here since we need to get a move on. God has basically told me to keep writing, and I'm just going to keep writing. We'll see where that goes. Due to health problems, and I have not been at my day job for several months now, but every time I go to an interview or look at a listing, or every time we ask for provision, my amazing husband here is working, so don't think he's a deadbeat. He is not a deadbeat. He is working, but we relied on my salary as well, right? But every time I go to him, like, God, what are you doing? He tells me, write. Keep writing. Just write, Julie. He says my name sometimes. And I'm like, yes, sir. So I'm doing my best to implement what he's having me do, and part of that is here at CCW and leading this group well. And so I hope that you consider doing what he's calling you to do as well. I have a Bible verse that I highlighted, and now is off my phone, but it's in Philippians 1. Sorry about that. I thought I was being helpful closing all my windows, on my phone, so it would last. Here we go. And this is my prayer, that your love may abound more and more in knowledge and depth of insight, so that you may be able to discern what is best, may be pure and blameless, the day of Christ, filled fruit of righteousness that comes through Jesus Christ, to the glory and the praise of God. And then later in the chapter, it also says, scrolling, I am torn between the two, a desire to depart and be with Christ. I've heard that from you all this week, and I feel your pain, which is better by far. But it is more necessary for you that I remain in the body. That is in Philippians 1. Please never doubt that you are here for a reason. All right, I want to thank some people tonight, and I would like you to come up to the podium because I want to give you a hug. I'm a hugger, sorry. They're like, who's going to be out there hugging again? And first of all, this is Linda's last year coordinating the Cascade Awards. Sorry, I didn't write a press release, promise. But I would like to honor Linda because she has organized, she has put in processes there before. She's written a job description, and I won't tell you how long it was, but it was significant. She'll be very hard to replace. You will be very hard to replace, Linda. We will miss you. But everything is lined up well for the next person because Linda took over and organized it, did it well. And I'm pleased you have agreed to remain on the board. I begged her. She said yes. And so we want to thank you for that, Linda. And I have a gift for you up here. Just organizing summer conference and putting this wonderful thing together every year that we do, and has last year now taken on our 2 one-day conferences during the year as well, and we appreciate her so much. Your energy and your love for writers is really clear, Christina, and your compassion for people, which I love. I wish we could clown around forever, but hey, maybe we can't. Our Lord does have a sense of humor, and there's a lot of joy up there, so we can clown around forever, okay? I thank you for everything that you've done, and I have a gift for you too. I opened it up to look at the pretty thing, and I didn't put the phone back in. But I thought you might want it to take it home. You're welcome. Use it. All right. I'm going to probably get maybe for this one, but Jesse, my true right-hand person, is an incredible idea person, which I need in my life. I'm more practical. I implement things, and he's like, boom, 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 what about this, and this, and that? And I'm like, great, let's do it, but let's slow down. We have to slow you down a little bit. And he is a light when things feel tiring. He always comes on with enthusiasm, never-ending support. Whatever I ask of him or ask him to help with, he's on, and he does it well. And so, Jesse, I appreciate you. I have a gift for you. He gets the one with the little bow tie. Why? All right. Not done yet. Sorry. I'll hurry up here. People are online going, I want to see the awards. Off this thing. All right. Kristen Johnson. He's up here. Hopefully she won't. Here she is. We'll be done with her role as a secretary in the fall, as I mentioned. And Kristen, although you mentioned to me yesterday that your job is actually the easiest one, you have jumped in to help in so many other areas. You were very invaluable to us. We appreciate it. You've been a true support with deep roots in Jesus, and we see that in you. We love that in you. We're very grateful. So thank you. Steps in. It's okay. And then I have my right-hand woman, and this would be Marilyn. Where'd you go, Marilyn? Howdy. Get out. She's also my partner in crime. I mean, in good things. We have more in common than just the love of good suspense, though we do have that in common. But I will never forget, Marilyn, when you were ready to retire, and you decided instead to accompany me along the way instead. I appreciate you more than words, and I thank you for all that you've done. Yes. If you don't like it, trade with somebody and they'll never know. You can wear it. Why can't you wear it? Okay, never mind. We'll talk about that later. Number one in the strange comments of the evening. Okay. And then we have Taylor. Taylor's here somewhere. I saw her earlier. Beautiful. Oh, she's... I thought Marilyn was shy. Taylor has joined us recently on the board, and she has an amazing story because she loves CCW. OCW is where she got her start in publishing, and that means something to her, so much to her that she decided that she wanted to give back, and she has given back in a great way. All right, and then the famous Karen I mentioned earlier, Karen Barnett, has also joined our board. And we didn't have to bribe her too much, so that was good. I thought that was a good sign that we didn't have to bribe her too much. And Karen has come on not just full board with her talents, as she's a woman of many talents, not just an amazing writer. She's crafty, she takes things on, she immediately jumped into fundraising and support and trying to get sponsorships. And she has a heart for new people and newbies when they come to conferences, so we're going to get her started on that. I'm afraid I'm going to overuse it and then she's going to burn out, so we were having that conversation, but we're so grateful for you that you came and joined us. We appreciate you. My people are wonderful. I love them. Okay. And then I want to talk to somebody else really quick, because we have another Kristen in the audience, I hope. Kristen Joy, are you here?
She's here. She's here.
How's it going? You good parade, wait. Would you come up? Please. Kristen is really stepped in. She doing the writing, what we call the writing center here at conference, which is actually in this room, is a really big job. She coordinates, all the people. She makes signage. She coordinates equipment. She puts up with people when they cancel. All kinds of things. What else does she do? Oh, she has a duck that squeaks and she goes. I'm like, you're bringing the chicken this year, right? So we appreciate you. We know you're working hard. Yeah, thank you. She go home. Okay, I'll give her a bit later. But just so you know, Kim took on as lead of our prayer team this year. And she was hesitant to do so. And she prayed a lot about it. She did prayer. I don't think there's probably one person who came to this conference this week that she has not prayed for. It is amazing and takes it on herself, and often, I don't often go to ask for prayer because I'm busy, so she comes to me. She pulls me aside and prays for me, and she's been amazing. So we'll get her gift to her, and we truly appreciate her, as well as the rest of the prayer team, because prayer really is at the heart of CCW and all that we do. So, thank you for putting up with my monotone voice up here, and we will get on with our awards. Linda.
To speak right into the speaker, so hopefully this helps. Well, last time you shh, go away. You already stole half of my material. That's okay. I'm actually gonna not speak as long tonight as I normally do. I know it's a shock for all of you that know me. So, and I would say welcome, but you've already been welcomed to the 2025 Cascade Awards. We're here tonight to celebrate 156 contestants who dared to submit 226 entries in 13 categories. We're also here to celebrate the 55 contestants who made it to the finals round and those who placed second and first place in each category. All, though, even those that just entered and didn't make it to the finals round, are winners for having been brave enough to submit your writing for the scrutiny of judges. There's for every entry, 3 judges read the piece and gave feedback, and for the finalists, another 2 judges who are listed on the back of your program. Those are the finals judges. We will eventually put all of the preliminary judges on the website. I think we can do that, but I didn't have time before this to get them up somewhere. So, last night I was standing at worship, and I was standing next to the lovely Kristen Johnson, who has the most exquisite soprano voice. As I heard her sing and I was singing along, I felt the urge to sing like her, to abandon my pitiful alto voice and strive for the higher notes. But I can't sing soprano and stay on key or sound like anything anyone wants to hear. That's not the voice God gave me. And as I stood there, pondering, listening, it made me think of how we as writers can feel compelled try to write like someone else who we think is a better writer. Or we might try to think we need to write in a genre that's different. Am I too close? Okay. I mean, I could stand back too. Oh, closer to me. Okay, how's that? All right. Anyway, it's right in the middle of the really punchy part here, the really inspiring part. But we think we need to write in a genre that's different because it's the popular genre, even though it's not the genre that God has put on our heart. It's not our passion. But somebody says, whether it's an agent or an editor or our critique partners, you should try writing this instead. But God has given each of us a unique writing voice and style and a passion for a particular genre, or maybe more than one. I mean, I write like 6 different genres at different times. I don't know. But I believe it's important for us to write in the voice that God gave us and to appreciate at the same time the other voices that we hear around us, but not try to emulate them. Just appreciate and then listen to God to do what we're supposed to do. Okay, as I was going to say, my notes say, as some of you know, but now all of you know, this is my last year coordinating the Cascade Writing Contest. In 2020, Marilyn Rhodes asked me to take on the contest, telling me that if I didn't there wouldn't be a Cascade contest the next year because there was no one else willing to take it on. I could not imagine a world without this contest. This contest has meant so much to me as being a finalist and also a winner. Many times in the years before I started coordinating it, I actually had the perfect article I wanted to submit that next year. It's like, well, if I am the coordinator, I can't submit it. But if I'm not the coordinator, there's no contest, so I can't submit it. It was really yeah, so anyway, I said yes. And in the 5 years that I've been running the contest, or maybe it's 6, I kind of lose count. Those years before, I can count the ones when I stood up here. I actually know who all my co-hosts were and what I wore. But the years when it was online, they're kind of was it 1 or 2? I don't know. Anyway, in the years that I've been running it, I've been blessed to see the impact that this contest has on so many writers. When I was just entering it, I saw what it did for me, but as the coordinator, I saw how much it blessed the writers who are contestants and who get this great feedback. I've also made some wonderful contacts, some lifelong friends. I have agents who I've never actually sat down and met with, but they know who I am. And that would not have happened otherwise because I just was not, I was just a person at the conference. Not everybody knew. Now people come up and talk to me. I'm like, I know I should know you, but I'm sorry, my brain doesn't hold that much. But I've also enjoyed, as Julie mentioned, streamlining the contest. I love making things more efficient. And so I put a lot of work into using technology to streamline the contest to make it easier for both the contestants and the judges, but also for me as the coordinator. But my season of running the contest has come to an end as other responsibilities and dreams vie for my time. Some of you have seen pictures of 2 of those dreams, and their names are Sugar and Spike, and they're 6-month-old cockapoos that are absolutely adorable and take way more time than a person might have thought when they thought it was a good idea to get 2 cockapoo puppies at the same time. But I have writing dreams that I've not had time to do because of all the other responsibilities in my life. And so today, I'm praying that some of you have come to love this contest as much as I do, and so much that you can't imagine a world without it. CCW needs a team of volunteers to step forward, as I did 5 years ago, to ensure this contest happens again next year and for years to come. I say a team because it really is more doable with more hands bearing the load. So if you feel God's call to coordinate graphics and media, that's like one realm of what needs to be done. That's actually the part I had the hardest time with myself. I'm not a graphics person. Or if you like the detail of processing entries as they come in, or maybe you want to coordinate judges. You just think that would be so much fun to assign judges and handle all that, or run this award ceremony. Arrange for desserts and all of the things that go into it. So if any of those things, if you would be interested or the Lord calls you to be on this team, please come see me. Probably not tonight, but I'm easy to find. Contact me and we can have a conversation about how you can bless CCW, and helping with the contest can be a blessing to you. And so, and I don't intend to just disappear. I am going to train whoever does come in, show them what I've done, and help in any way I can. I just can't do all of it as I've done for the last, and I haven't done all of it. I shouldn't say that. I've had a lot of volunteers that have helped, but there are some big chunks of it that I've done myself that really needs to be a team instead of just me. And I'm not leaving CCW. I would be like leaving my family. And while there are some of my family members that would be okay with, there's my husband's side of the family that I can't imagine leaving behind because they're awesome. And so that's about all I have to say, except that now the person who was so shy to even come up and get a gift from Julie needs to come up. Taylor Bennett is my co-host tonight, and she has some words of wisdom, and I'm just going to let her tell you what she thinks is important to know about her, and then I'll be back up to actually give the award.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Linda. I just dropped my lovely prop. Got a tissue here because I know it's an awards ceremony, so we're going to get emotional. No, the tissue actually has something in it that I want to share with you. It has been so much fun getting to be on faculty here and to meet just so many incredible people. I've gotten to learn about your stories. I got a chance to mentor some of you and read some of those stories, and that was really fun. And now I get to be up here. 10 years ago, give or take, I attended my first Cascade Christian Writers Conference, and I remember thinking to myself at that Cascade Awards banquet, I'm going to be up there on that stage one day. Here I am, ta-da! I did it! Being able to help present the Cascade Awards was always on my bucket list. Now, I know that the thought of public speaking for many of us introverted writers is something that we would more attribute to helping us kick the bucket, but I have always dreamed of being able to inspire people with my words. That is what I hope to be able to do this evening for you. I would love to offer some words of inspiration. When I was a young, bright-eyed teenage writer with big dreams, I not only hoped to someday present the Cascade Awards and to share in the joy of those wins with you, but I also hoped to someday win a Cascade Award of my own. I had a book I was pitching, and I actually was able to sell that book at a Cascade Christian Writers Conference to Merely Farrell, who should have been here, and we wish her and her mom all the best. And that was just, my world lit up. I was going to fulfill my dream of becoming a teenage author, and I did. And I published multiple books with Mountain Brook Inc., and then it happened. When my first one came out, it finaled for a Cascade Award. And back in those days, even if you were a finalist, you came up on the stage and you walked across and you got your little finalist certificate, and you smiled big and took pictures. And so I remember that writers' conference, I came up and I grabbed my certificate, and I was so excited, and oh, I wanted to win so badly. I did not win the award that I dreamt of, but what I did win at that conference was another connection with someone who is here tonight, Linda Howard. If you've met Linda, you know she is a ray of light. She is a sunbeam. She is wonderful. And out of that connection and that conference came another book with Tyndale, a devotional for young adults. And I got to reach that dream of inspiring others with my words in that way. My path, perhaps like yours, has been built of dreams, some that have gotten broken and chipped a little bit along the way, and some that have miraculously, by the grace of God, come true. So when I was given this opportunity to come up here and see you all face to face and inspire you with my words that way, I couldn't say yes fast enough. I can't even say yes fast enough now. I was so excited, I just said, yes, of course I'm going to talk. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. That was a while ago. I drove up here, and I thought, I get to talk. I love to talk. I'm going to inspire people. I didn't know what I was going to say. But I knew I had something that I wanted to share with you, and I was just waiting. And then I drove in, I parked in the parking lot, I got out of my car, and I found this on the ground, and you probably can't see it from where you are, but it's a robin's egg. and it's broken. And isn't that so much like all of us? This is beautiful, and yet it is very, very imperfect. And as I've gotten to know some of you better, some of you for the first time over these last couple of days, I've come to realize something very true about us all, is that we are all broken. We all have dreams that were broken, dreams that we wished would come true that just never quite happened. I never did quite win that Cascade Award. Maybe you didn't final. Maybe you had a disappointing meeting with an editor or an agent. Or maybe there's just something in your personal life, in your heart, that makes you feel a little chipped, a little battered. But you're here. And we want to celebrate you because you are here. That in spite of whatever brokenness you may have inside of you, whatever you might be facing, you are here and you are pursuing those dreams that God has given you. As soon as I saw this egg, the speech wrote itself. And I knew I wanted to inspire you that even if you are broken, you are still beautiful. And that was all well and good. And then I woke up this morning and I thought, oh, it's finally the day. I finally get to come up here and hopefully inspire all of you. And I decided to go on a little walk and talk with God. And I stumbled upon a second robin's egg. And I was like, okay, God, you really want me to talk about these robin's eggs, right? Like, so what I want to share with you about these eggs and what struck me the moment I saw them is how beautiful they are. They're beautiful in color. They're very fragile, but there's something just very enchanting about them. They in themselves are beautiful. You with your dreams are beautiful. And those dreams that come true, those are the special ones. Those are the ones that don't get chipped, that don't get broken, that just explode bright and beautiful into the world. These beautiful blue robin's eggs, if we can think of them like that. But sometimes our dreams have to break in order for something even more beautiful to come out. The little blue robin's egg that got chipped and fractured did so because a chick was bursting out into the world full of new life. I've had my share of dreams come and go. My dream of being a world-famous, best-selling fiction author didn't quite exactly happen. But you know what? I'm standing up here having launched a magazine. That was never in my plan, but it was in God's plan. So if you feel like your dreams got a little chipped, a little broken, as you realized, oh my goodness, these agents and editors are scarier than I thought they were. They're really not, you just haven't figured it out yet. Or if your dreams are exploding onto the scene, new and round and full of life, whatever stage you're at, I just want to encourage you to keep going. And I want you to know that even if you feel broken, God is going to use that to bring about something so much more beautiful than you can ever imagine. So as we take some time to honor the people whose work has finaled for these awards and the people whose work has won these awards, don't forget about yourself and your own journey and your God-given dreams. And who knows, maybe someday you'll be up here on this stage too. Linda, are you coming? Okay. You're texting? You weren't listening to my speech? I'm so offended.
All right, so let's get on with the awards because that's what everybody's here for. We're done blabbering about different things and our inspiration and our whatever is going on, and our eggs, yeah. So I want to give you a little bit of logistics, how things are going to work. So we're going to go through slides that have all of the finalists and their photos. Many of them can't be here, so we've got all their photos. And I forgot to mention in my earlier talk that I wanted to thank Becky Harwood, who could not be here because of family requirements or she had to take care of her parents. But she, at the last minute, When I went to put the PowerPoint together last week, I couldn't find last year's, which wasn't very creative anyway, because I'm graphically challenged. I do words, I don't do pictures. And I looked high and low for that last year's PowerPoint, and God just took it and got rid of it because he wanted Becky to have a chance to do these absolutely gorgeous PowerPoint slides that she put together. And so I hope she's watching and can see how wonderful they turned out. Taylor and I will be taking turns, probably do 2 categories each and then switch. And we're just going to read through. And as your name is called, if you are in the room as a finalist, please stand up. And then we're going to go on to the next category, and once we're done with all of the finalists, then we'll go on to naming the second place and then the first place winners. Second and first place winners will come up on stage, get their certificate and a prize, and then stop over here at this banner, and Karen Barnett is going to take pictures. If you want to do your own selfie, if you have somebody who also want to take a picture with your phone, you can do that as well, but please don't get in Karen's way. Just try and take the official photos. And then at the end, after a category is done, in terms of we know who the winners are, you can pick up your certificates from the lovely Kristen Johnson with the beautiful soprano voice, who is currently sitting back there. If you want to raise your hand, there she is. She has the finalist certificates that she's not going to look at, because then she would know who's the winners, because it's the ones that don't have finalist certificates. But then you can also come and get your picture taken with your finalist certificate by Karen if you want to do that. And that's it for logistics. So why don't we just get started? Oh, winners, please gather for a picture afterwards. And Christina wants me to say something, but I can't even hardly see her with this glaring light. Yes. She doesn't want to say it out loud, I guess. She wants me to say it. Whatever it is, I don't know. Oh, I do remember one thing she told me to say earlier is there are evaluations at the back of Hood tomorrow morning, so please fill out your evaluations. But that wasn't it, was it? Oh, that's right. So last year, Nick Harrison won a Lifetime Achievement Award. And he was not able to be here because he had COVID, and we missed him dearly, that conference. And so he would like to say I understand, thank you for the award, or doesn't know what I'm talking about. So if you want to come up, Nick, and say a word of thanks, or your own words of inspiration, because we know you have a lot of great inspiring words as well.
Well, when I was in high school, all the cool guys had 2 things. They had a girlfriend, they had a Letterman sweater. I had a girlfriend, but I didn't have a Letterman sweater. I really wanted one, but there was this thing called sports that you had to do to get a Letterman sweater. I did not do sports. All that to say, I never got my Letterman sweater, but last year when I got COVID and had to cancel coming to the conference, I was delighted and shocked and surprised, told that I had won a lifetime achievement. I was thinking back to like 1982 or so when I first came to then Oregon. I remember being at Warner Pacific Day. I remember hearing a workshop led by Bertie Hutchison, and 40-some years later, it's amazing and it's wonderful, and I just wanted to take a moment to thank Cascade Christian Writers for this honor. I don't have the Letterman sweater, but now I have the little clock that was given to me, and it's in my office in a prominent place, and I see it frequently. Thank you, Cascade Christian Writers.
All right, we are pleased to recognize the finalists in the article, column, and nonfiction short story category. First, we have Becky Alexander, A Little Help from JFK. We have Cheryl A. Cates, Chinchilla Bingo and the Pretzel Ladder. Cecile Taylor, The Baby is Stronger Than Anyone Knows. And Melissa Stinson, The Price of Love. In our devotional category, we recognize Lori Allard Boyd for In All Things, Lana Olselton, Like the Wooden Bear, Barbara Cully, Numbering Our Days, and Garyana Stalick, Show Me What I Do Not See.
All right, in the fiction short story category, we are pleased to recognize Jackie Melvin, Forever Person, Rick Taylor, Just a Potter's Daughter, Rick Taylor, Leftovers, and Rick Taylor, Timing is Everything. And I'm here to say that it wasn't a super small category either, so Rick did a great job. Congratulations, Rick. And Jackie too. I don't want to diminish Jackie. All right. And then in the poetry category, we want to recognize Beth Davis, It Is Finished. Kathleen R. Ruckman, My Father's Whistle. Rick Taylor, New Prince, Old Story. Lakita Detman, Sweet Hour. And Ruth Hannah Wood, The Day Before Sunday. And I probably should mention in that category the reason there are 5 finalists instead of 4 is because there was a tie for the 4th spot. So made 5 of them finalists. And the same happens in, I think it's speculative fiction. Yes, so that's why you'll hear 5 when we get there.
Our children's picture book finalists are Debbie Austin, Gotta Fly, Helen Haverland, Mama, Mama, You Won't Believe, Robin Curry, Noah Has a Good Day and a Bad Day, Jennifer Noel Wilson and Kristen Faith Evans, The Special Gifts. In children's chapter book, we have Teresa Harris, Nana Banana, Fee Fi Fo Fana, Kristen Joy Wilkes, Fooey Kerflooey versus the Deep Deep Dark, Phyllis Wheeler, Return of the Cave Lion, and Melissa Ruther, The Mystery at the Fox Mansion.
In the nonfiction book category, our finalists are Andreas W. Collings, Dining with Spiritual Babies, A Guide to Biblical Growth in Ambassadorship. Kelsey Jesdahl, Mindset, Learning to Live with the Mind of Christ. Shelley D. Owen, What Child Is This? A Daily Chapter Interactive Advent to Epiphany Reading. And Mark Wainwright, Writing Christian Fiction. In the memoir category, our finalists are Melissa Stinson, Echoes of Mercy, How God Lovingly Pursued My Heart After Miscarriage. Nancy Beck Erland, Grief is Labor, a midwife describes grief recovery. Mark A. Lawton, Hot Wheels with Jesus, a life of intimacy with God. And Kimberly Bird, Stones of Remembrance.
In contemporary fiction, we have Renee L. Gentry, A Thread of Faith, Jenny Kennedy, Escape of the Innocent, Stacia Croson, Faithful Until Death, and another entry by Renee L. Gentry, Ribbons of Hope. In our historical fiction book category, we have Stacia Croson again for Even as Her Betrayer, Darrell G. Lott, Isabel's song Grace and Mercy in the Fight for Texas, Stephanie Julia Gibson, No Good Shepherd, and Melody Roberts, The Hope of Woodland Hall.
And in the speculative fiction category, our finalists are Rafe Emerson Bellers, Dusk, Pauline Hall, Her Phantom Night, Patricia Tiffany Morris, The Pride of Belonging in Love Like Jane, Rachel Jack, The Treaty of Stars and Earth, and Julia N. White, The White Raven. In the middle grade book category, our finalists are Sonia Anderson, Blossoms in the Wind, Jenny Enzor, Dear Diana, Erica A. Briggs, Mind Mirrors, Chronicles of Zoth, and Abigail Skelton, Mission Danger. There's one last category I'll let you do.
And finally, for the young adult book category, we have Mark Wainwright for Adrift, Stacia Croson for The Third Time in Liberty, and S.E. Clancy in Rochester Road, and Jill Kohler for The Lost Voice.
Okay, so now on to what everybody's been waiting for. Does anybody need to go get another dessert before I start? No? You sure? Okay. All right. So it is a tradition of Cascade Christian Writers, as far as I can remember, that the way we announce the winners is by reading the first line of the winning piece. And so we are going to start with second place so that the other finalists are still like, maybe I'm the winner, maybe I'm first place. Okay, so we're going to start with second, then we're going to do first place in each category. And so we're beginning again with articles, column, and nonfiction short story. Okay, so the second place winning entry, that voice. I had heard it in my head a few times before, and I believed it to be the voice of the Holy Spirit. Cecil Taylor, The Baby is Stronger Than Anyone Knows. And I really should have made a note on here so I knew which people were here, but I didn't. It's all right. It's all good. First place, You have a beautiful baby girl, Mrs. Selby, the doctor announced, gently placing me into the awaiting hands of the delivery nurse. Becky Alexander, a little help from JFK. Put them in the envelope.
All right, second place for devotional. I walked into the barn one morning to feed the sheep and heard groaning and restlessness. Lori Allard Boyd, in all things.
Come up. Woo!
You need a certificate. All right, and first place, or do we want to wait? Want to give a photo shoot moment? All right, first place is Panic Raced Through Me Like Fire. My brothers and I were playing on the beach near our home when I stepped off a submerged bulkhead. Barbara Cully, Numbering Our Days.
After poetry. Oh, they're in the next. Never mind. I put my prizes in the wrong order over there. All right. We're going to do fiction short story. Second place. On a dusty hill, a man sat on a hump of yellow grass, cloak at his side, back against a rock. Rick Taylor, Just a Potter's Daughter. First place in the fiction short story category, She Lay Motionless. Roman nudged her with his nose and raised his paw to gently tap her leg. Jackie Melvin, Forever Person.
Second place for the poetry category. On his journey with an old monk, a young prince saw the ocean. Rick Taylor, New Prince, Old Story. First place, I hear a whistle from afar, much farther than a distant star. Kathleen R. Ruckman, My Father's Whistle. Here it goes.
Children's picture book. Second place. It was a good day for Noah because God spoke to him. It was a bad day for Noah because God planned to destroy the world. Robin Curie. Noah has a good day and a bad day. First place in the children's picture book. Ethan hid behind his mom in the classroom doorway. Jennifer Noel Wilson and Kristen Faith Evans, The Special Gifts.
Second place for children's chapter book. Atticus Quill knew he was different from other porcupines, but Atticus didn't want other animals at school to know he was different. Melissa Ruther, The Mystery at Fox Mansion. And first place. Bowie circled the blanket fort, giving it a good sniff. Fuzzy blankets draped over 4 chairs made a cozy den. Kristen Joy Wilkes, Fooey Kerflooey versus the Deep, Deep Dark.
No, the suspense is killing you. It was me, too, before I did all the calculating and figured out who were the winners. Anyway, all right, nonfiction book. Second place. What's this book all about anyway? Why write this about mindset? Isn't Philippians called the Book of Joy? Kelsey Jesdahl. Mindset, learning to live with the mind of Christ. And first place, picture this. After a long, exhausting day, you're craving a caramel latte. You step into a cozy bookstore cafe and place your order. Mark Wainwright, writing Christian fiction.
Second place in the memoir category. My husband jokes that my love language is other people's trash. Kimberly Bird, Stones of Remembrance. And first place. The light in the birthing room was dim, creating the feel of a warm and safe cocoon. Nancy Beck Erland, Grief is Labor. A midwife describes grief recovery.
Okay, contemporary fiction book. Second place, Faith Delaney trudged to the elevator in the employee parking garage, the fluorescent lights casting strange shadows around her. Renee L. Gentry, A Thread of Faith. First place, Communist Romania. Nina Inoescu learned how to deliver babies as soon as she was old enough to hold a newborn. Ginny Kennedy, Escape of the Innocent.
Second place in historical fiction. Lavi's Abba was a sinner. Everyone in town knew it. Stephanie Julia Gibson, No Good Shepherd. And first place, Woodlands Home and Farm for Children was the safest place in Indiana, or so the letter had said. Melody Roberts, the Hope of Woodland Hall.
All right, speculative fiction book. It's actually one of my favorite categories. I love reading spec fiction. Second place, cool air flowed over Raven's pale wingspan, but the skin under her feathers burned like the setting sun. Julia N. White, The White Raven. In first place, a cold draft slithered across the back of her neck, something that seemed not this world. Colleen Hall, Her Phantom Night.
Second place in the middle grade book category, Fight, Fight, Fight. Caleb sighed at the sight of his sister standing in the center of the middle school mob. Abigail Skelton, Mission Danger. In first place, my sister couldn't hurry if a nine-tailed fox nipped at her heels the whole way to the marketplace. Sonia Anderson, Blossoms in the Wind.
In the last category, but certainly not the least category, we have young adult book. Second place, Craig rubbed his eyes. Bad idea. The salt water on his skin made them sting. Mark Wainwright, Adrift. And first place, It Came Without Warning. The giant fiery explosion lit up the night sky, shattering the peaceful silence. Stacia Croson, Liberty. We have one last award, and that is one of my favorites, and I was tickled that it was in my actual favorite category. Well, I don't know. I don't have one favorite category. It's one of my favorite categories. And that award is for the high score overall. So of all the finalists, this is the highest final score for this entry. And the line you've heard before, because it was a winner in its category. The light in the birthing room was dim, creating the feel of a warm and safe cocoon. It's a memoir by Nancy Beck Erland, Grief is Labor, a midwife describes grief recovery. And that's everything, unless somebody thinks of something else that I should be given an award for. I should give Julie an award for doing such a great job as our president. Had I known before I asked her how much it was going to mean to Taylor to be invited to be my co-host, I would have gotten her an award for greatest co-host of 2025. I'm not anywhere near as good as Julie is at getting gifts and giving thank you. So I want to thank everybody who helped tonight to get this place set up. Beautiful flowers, the desserts being set up. I should say, not that he's watching because he's taking care of 2 puppies, but thank my husband who brought all the desserts, went and picked up and brought all the desserts today. And thank all of you for coming, for supporting your fellow writers, that even if you weren't a finalist, you came to cheer on those who were finalists and who are winners. And I hope that years to come, each of you will have an opportunity to be blessed with a Cascade Award, or even just the courage to enter the contest. See, I'm hoping, I'm believing that people are going to step up because I'm talking about next year's contest. So anyway, let me close us in a quick prayer and then we can all go home. Heavenly Father, thank you for how you bless us with words, how you inspire us to write to your glory. Thank you for the opportunity to praise you for all the words that you give us. And we ask all of this in your precious and holy name. Amen. Thank you. Good night. Oh, so finalists can get your certificates and come get a picture taken. I think Kristen's going to come over here.